You've covered a lot of war zones in your time very courageously, Geraldo. What do you make of Ukraine? We had a debate earlier about the nuclear saber rattling they're doing constantly now. But the scenes that we're seeing, we're sort of living this war in real time on social media like we've never lived a war before. How does this all play out, do you think?
I think just in that last point, social media, now people with iPhones are doing as good a job as I did with 2 tons of satellite equipment. It is extraordinary, and the bravery. Our Benjamin Hall, who lost his leg, has lost his crew. It's so dangerous. It's heavy combat. I so admire the coverage. Now, in terms of how this all plays out and where it goes, and I heard your interview with General Keane, how it ends, I have no idea. But the nuclear saber rattling has rattled me as a child of the 1950s, who used to duck under our desks at school, in nuclear drills that would have been fruitless, who lived through as a cadet in maritime college the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah. This is the worst it's been since then.
Yeah.
This is, people have to understand that when people are talking about use of nuclear weapons, in a way that it is plausible, if remote, it is unnerving to me. It is absolutely so profoundly distressing. To think that these world leaders would actively be considering. Now, what the word is now that Putin is going to use a tactical nuclear weapon to explode over the Black Sea or some unpopulated area in Ukraine someplace, as a demonstration. That's insanity. It's insanity. It is ridiculous. Mutual assured destruction is what nuclear warfare is all about. And it's just so distressing to me that that world leaders, even someone as nutty as Putin is showing himself to be, would be putting the world's very survival in play. For what? For what exactly? For Donbass? For some little shaving of eastern Ukraine? What exactly is it that Putin is so angry about that he would end the world? I had a history professor, very briefly, Mr. Fabregas in social studies, who told me that he had no doubt but that Hitler at the end of the war, if he had a choice and there was a button that said end the world, because we're losing or not, Hitler would have pushed the button. He would have ended the world. I remember how upset I was by that. Is this the same thing? Is Putin now playing with the button because he may lose this ridiculous, stupid war? And bravo to Ukraine. Bravo to Zelensky. They're kicking butt at great cost, but they threw the world's second most powerful or third most powerful army out of the region around the capital, and now Putin is trying to pick up the pieces in the east side. I think that this is horrible, what's going on with Putin, and bravo to Ukraine and the Western allies. That's one thing about Trump. I don't know. Would Trump have held NATO together with the UK, and would he have held them together to have a united front against Putin? He hated NATO. Half of NATO wasn't paying the 2%. He was so disparaging of them, and it sounded like he wanted the Atlantic Alliance gone, that he didn't even think the United States should be in NATO. What if there was no NATO now?
Yeah.
I think that there's so many interrelated questions.
As always, Geraldo, brilliantly observed.